Overcoming the fear of being on camera at 40 plus. For many people over 40, the idea of being on camera can feel more intimidating than exciting. It's not just about pressing record. It's about being seen, judged, and remembered in a way that feels deeply personal. Wrinkles, gray hair, voice changes, self-conscious expressions, and fear of criticism all seem louder once you reach midlife. While younger creators may appear carefree in front of the camera, those over 40 often carry a heavier emotional weight, self-awareness shaped by years of experience. Yet despite these fears, countless creators over 40 have built meaningful, successful YouTube channels. Not because they lacked fear, but because they learned how to move through it. Overcoming the fear of being on camera after 40 is not about becoming fearless. It's about becoming free enough to share what matters. This article explores why this fear is so common, why it's valid, and how to overcome it with confidence, clarity, and compassion for yourself. Understanding where the fear comes from. Fear of being on camera is rarely just about appearance. At its core, it's about vulnerability. Being on camera means allowing others to see you as you are, without filters, without control over reactions. After 40, this fear is often amplified by increased self-criticism, fear of judgment or ridicule, concern about looking too old, worry about credibility or relevance. Past experiences with criticism. Life experience brings wisdom, but it also brings awareness. You know how harsh people can be, and that knowledge can make visibility feel risky. Recognizing that this fear is natural, not a personal flaw, is the first step to overcoming it. Why this fear often appears after 40. In youth, experimentation feels safer because identity is still forming. After 40, identity feels more established. You may have spent years building a professional image, family role, or sense of privacy. Being on camera can feel like a threat to that carefully built identity. There is also a deeper fear. What if I try and fail? At this stage of life, failure can feel more costly, emotionally and socially. But this belief is misleading. In reality, trying and not trying carry very different long-term consequences. Separating self-worth from on-camera performance. One of the most important mindset shifts is learning to separate who you are from how you appear on camera. A video is not a verdict on your worth, intelligence, or value. It is simply a snapshot of a moment. You are allowed to stumble over words, look imperfect, improve over time. Every creator, regardless of age, starts awkwardly. The difference is that younger creators often don't care as much. Older creators care deeply. That care, when reframed, can become intention rather than fear. The truth about how others see you. Here's a quiet truth. Most people are not judging you as harshly as you imagine. Viewers are far more focused on what you're saying. Whether it helps them, whether you feel sincere. In fact, many viewers find older creators more comforting and credible. Gray hair, calm voices, and thoughtful delivery often signal trustworthiness, not irrelevance. What you see as flaws, others often see as authenticity. Starting without being fully seen. One powerful way to overcome camera fear is to ease into visibility. You don't have to start with full face-on videos if that feels overwhelming. You can begin with voice-over content, slides with narration, screen recordings, filming from the side or at a distance. These formats allow you to build confidence while still creating valuable content. Over time, comfort grows naturally, and appearing on camera becomes less intimidating. Reframing the camera as a person, not an audience. Fear increases when you imagine everyone watching you. A helpful technique is to imagine speaking to one specific person, a friend, a younger version of yourself, or someone who needs what you're sharing. The camera is not a crowd, it's a bridge. When you shift your focus from being seen to serving someone, fear loses much of its power. Practicing compassion instead of criticism. After 40, many people carry an internal critic that speaks harshly. This voice often grows louder on camera. Instead of asking, "Do I look good enough?" try asking, "Is this helpful? Is this honest? Would this encourage someone?" Replacing criticism with compassion changes the emotional tone of creation. You don't need to perform, you need to connect. The role of preparation in reducing fear. Confidence often grows from preparation. While you don't need to script every word, having a clear outline can reduce anxiety. Preparation helps you stay focused, avoid rambling, feel grounded. Knowing what you want to say allows you to relax into how you say it. With time, preparation becomes second nature, and fear gradually fades. Understanding that fear does not mean stop. Fear is often misinterpreted as a warning sign. In reality, fear often appears when something matters. The presence of fear does not mean you are doing the wrong thing. It often means you are stepping into growth. Many creators over 40 report that fear never completely disappears. What changes is their relationship with it. Fear becomes a signal to move forward gently, not a command to retreat. Handling negative comments with maturity. One of the biggest fears of being on camera is receiving negative feedback. While criticism exists, it often says more about the commenter than the creator. Older creators have an advantage here: emotional resilience. You've faced criticism in real life, far more intense than online comments. Learning to ignore unhelpful negativity. Accept constructive feedback. Protect your peace is part of the journey. You are not obligated to absorb every opinion. Why your presence matters more than your appearance. What truly keeps people watching is not perfection, it's presence. A calm, thoughtful presence is something many viewers crave, especially in a fast, chaotic digital world. Your age allows you to bring perspective, emotional steadiness, depth of thought. These qualities cannot be faked and are deeply valuable. Building confidence through repetition. Confidence is built, not discovered. The more you show up on camera, the less foreign it feels. The first video is the hardest. The 10th feels manageable. The 100th feels natural. You don't need to be confident to start. Starting is what creates confidence. Turning fear into a signal of purpose. Often, the fear of being on camera is strongest when you have something meaningful to say. If your message didn't matter, fear wouldn't be there. Reframing fear as a sign of purpose transforms it from an enemy into a guide. It means you care, and caring is not a weakness. Conclusion. Courage looks different after 40. Overcoming the fear of being on camera after 40 is not about becoming bold or loud. It's about choosing honesty over hiding, service over self-doubt, and purpose over perfection. You don't need to compete with youth. You don't need to look a certain way. You don't need to erase your age. Your voice, shaped by years of living, carries weight and warmth. When you allow yourself to be seen, not as perfect, but as real, you create space for connection that transcends age. The camera is not judging you, it is waiting for you. And the moment you press record, you take a quiet but powerful step, not just into content creation, but into courage. It's never too late to start and succeed on YouTube. If you're over 40 and ready to turn your experience into impact, hit like, subscribe, and join this channel built for creators who started later, but aim higher.